Welcome back to Emergency Dating Consulting, a place for immediate change and or development in the world of dating. As always, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And don't forget to send in your questions so I can answer them on the show. Let's go! Who's looking for advice and finds herself a little confused and doesn't know what to do. She titles it as "The Guy Asked for a Kiss on the First Date." She says, so this guy whom I was seeing asked me for a kiss, and I told him no, and he didn't go any further, but now I'm feeling like he's a playboy. I really like him, and I don't know what intentions he has. I went to his place today and he tried to kiss me today too, when I clearly made it clear I needed time, and then he ended up apologizing to me later in text. I don't want to get physical with the guy I've known for a week. What do I do now? Now, this is where I would like to know her age, because it seems like this waiting game, if you will, to get physical, which usually means sex, she's talking about just a kiss. It seems like this is getting worse. I'm not going to jump on that because she just sounds young, so I'm just not going to dive in on that note. However, what immediately stands out, so a guy she was seeing asked for a kiss, and I told him no, and he didn't go any further. But now I'm feeling like he's a playboy. That baffles me, and I think that is the sign of youth, if you will. I don't know where she gets he thinks he's a playboy because he went in for a kiss, right? And you have to be, women, y'all have to be careful with this information. You already know, right? You've heard it through the grapevine that you don't want men to ask you if they can kiss you, right? You rather them just do it, right? And right, so that where I'm getting at, this can confuse men in the situation. And now she thinks he's a playboy, right, for going in for a kiss. And let's keep it real, you don't want somebody to ask you for a kiss, right? If sparks are flying and the chemistry is on point, why would I ask you? Right? I know what I'm reading. So it's unfortunate. I think she's horribly wrong that he's being a playboy. He asked for a kiss. We all know that's not a playboy. I really like him, and I don't know what his intentions he has. Of course you don't. You're dating. You met a complete stranger, right? And hence you saying you don't want to get physical with a guy you've only known for a week. What do I do now? Right? You have to understand the situation that you're putting these guys in. But for now, you have to understand you're playing a selfish game, right? Look, if you're going to have a man wait, right? Give him a little something that he can do while he waits. Like, you form your dating around to keep your own protection. Excuse me. What do they get? Right? You're not adjusting to this man wanting to kiss you, to the chemistry he feels. You said you really like this guy, right? So he has to fight back his attractiveness to you. He has to fight back his feelings towards you, his romantic feelings. He has to fight everything back and wait. What do you do? Nothing, right? You don't have to do shit. And this is why a lot of y'all get burned in these situations, right? Because I understand the wanting to wait, and I understand the importance behind it from what I can, meaning taking women's word that this is their body and how important that is. But this is where it gets fuzzy. You have to understand you're protecting your body and you're protecting what you, and that's how y'all play this a lot, your most valuable asset, which is your vagina. But what you don't understand, they're everywhere. This is how it gets fuzzy for y'all. Y'all are wrong. Your vagina is not your most valuable asset, believe it or not. It's really not. Because then men would wait night and day. And the ones that do are not right up here, right? They're either super Mr. Nice Guy or super put you in the trunk guy, right? So as much as we value your bodies tremendously, we really do, we can't help but to notice, statistically, y'all you double our population. There is more women on this earth than there are men. They're everywhere. I mean everywhere. If you've ever traveled around this country, just the United States alone, like, you just can't get away from it. All right, you fly away from hot women just to land to California hot women, right? It changes, it just gets better, or worse depending on your dating situation. But all women have vaginas, right? And some women don't keep this. You need the super 32 character passcode with all these different characters in there, and you also have to have a retinal scan and just to get a kiss. Like, where I'm getting at is, make some adjustments. Like, this is you're having a prized possession that is everywhere, right? Something is so prized and valuable because it's rare to get, right? It's not rare for a woman to have sex. That's why there are some women who don't have all these passwords to them, and you can just have a good time if the timing and the mood is right. Right? That's because y'all are human beings too. You like to be touched. You like to not only get down, but you like to get fucked from time to time, right? So y'all are human beings. So these rules, it just proves on how twisted her perspective is to how a guy she really likes, but she's not playing a fair game here whatsoever. She's like hoarding everything until I'm ready, until I'm 100% sure, until there's no risk involved whatsoever, until I'm 100% protected. That's fucked up, and that's not fair, right? And these double standards pop up, and on the man's behalf, what is he supposed to do, right? At the same time, while you have him wait, you don't want him talking to other women. You want him to delete his phone book, right? And what if you're just like, I'm not feeling you weeks into the relationship, right? What is he supposed to do? So imagine the guy's perspective, right? He asked for a kiss. It was respectfully declined, and okay. And I'm sure she added some cushion for his fall of being denied. He didn't even go in for the kiss and got denied. And then she went to his place today, and he tried. You went to his place. What do you think he's thinking? All right. And then when he goes home and he's like, "Fuck, I asked for the kiss." Right? We all know, we've all heard you don't ask women for a kiss, right? But when you're in that situation and your knees start to shake and that rejection start to hit you, you're like, oh shit, maybe I should just ask her. Fuck it, I'm just gonna ask her. And then this guy goes in for a kiss again because the asking didn't work, but he can't think of it because, he can't think on what she's going through on this kiss. All he's thinking of, fuck, I fucked up. I didn't do it right. I'm sure he called or did whatever, and he was advised to go in for that kiss, right? So he went for that kiss and you denied him. Like, imagine what he is thinking. He even apologized, right? And you worded it like he apologized like, thank you, I appreciate that. You made me uncomfortable. What is this man supposed to do? At what point? And here's what's wild. You're the same woman that wants to be pleased when the time comes, right? But you're already scared of a kiss, and he knows you are. Imagine how terrified he is to put just his hands on your hips, let alone to explore your body, right? So you have to be careful on how you go about this, and you have to make sure it goes both ways, right? You want to give each other that same respect, but give each other the same understand. If you're plugging all these rules for your safety, there is somebody who can't get close to you, right? Give them a chance to get close to you. This is why I preach education of understanding your opposite sex, because, there are so many women who approach from childhood to understanding to comfortability to confidence, whatever. There's so many women who would like to be approached certain ways, who would like to be kissed certain ways, right? Imagine this guy who feels like he has to ask for a kiss. He got denied on doing both, right? So when he bumps into that woman who definitely does not play the asking for a kiss and will shut it down after that, meaning as a complete turnoff is looking for a kiss, what is he supposed to do? Just start going in for kisses, right? Like, just know what you're affecting here, and know that there's different women with different preferences, just like men out there. So it's smart to understand who you're dealing with. I encountered a woman who only wanted sexually to be taken, right? That was the first time I've ever experienced that. I went about this woman very respectfully, really, and I took my time, not only pursuing her, but getting to a point where things are about to get heated, right? And she would deny me as I would basically touch parts of her body, but I would be confused, like, well, what? We're in bed. Like, I don't know what you want me to do here. So and we're kissing, right? But as I'm going for a touch, right, she's throwing my hand away, right? And it's like, okay, I don't know. But in my head, I'm like, we're kissing, we're in bed. Like, what is this? We're adults here, like, and so when I went back and to put my hand on her and she tried to move it away, I didn't have her move it away. Like, I stayed firm on my position, if you will, and she really tried to pull it away while making out with me at the same time. So I didn't pull it away, and once she pulled so hard her hand slipped off, she went crazy on me, right? Like, this is how she got going for whatever reason, whatever's going on psychologically. But it just goes to show where I've met some women who likes to take their time, right? Likes a little slower and more passionate versus aggressiveness. So what are you gonna do? Do you just avoid every woman who with a high sex appeal and is a little more freakier in bed and never get to experience that? And just why? All right, there's so many different types of women, and there's so many different types of men. That's what women do it all the time, right? This is why they always settle down a little later, but they make sure they meet a few bad boys in their life, and they make sure they have a few bad boys in their life, and they get a few experiences where definitely their heart was not involved, but do they think about it till this day? So explore, get out there, but you cannot do that, and you cannot have these experiences if you do not understand what you're dealing with and the opposite sex on who they operate. Women can spot it instantly. Just looking at a man, looking at how he's carrying himself, how he's standing, what he's wearing, they already can tell for the most part. And this is where judging is not a problem. I can tell a woman instantly for the most part, how she would be in bed, or how I should approach her. Should I be a little more aggressive? Should I be a little more cautious? Like, I can see that just by how she looks, what she's wearing, how she's looking. And this is the same thing. Women spot this immediately, and they can notice that because they have, for the most part, been educated on men from their mothers, right? This isn't just, she was just born just knowing about men. So many women, and this doesn't go for all women at the same time, right? So many of these, unfortunately, a history of escorts and sex workers come from their mom wasn't in their life for the most part, you know, so they didn't really get that education of men, and this is what leaves them vulnerable. And this is why, fathers, be there for your daughters. They become vulnerable in this situation where you get predatory men able to come along and finesse their head a little bit and scoop them up. So education is just so important to know what you're dealing with, and education teaches you how to navigate your terrain, right? You know where you're going. This is why if you go to another country, if you go hiking in the Amazon, they'll bring a navigator to direct you, right? And to educate you on the plants and things around here. It doesn't mean you can't go on the trail, right? It doesn't mean you can't experience the rainforest and the beautiful wildlife that's around. It's just, you have to know what you're doing. And if you're not going to take the time to study the Amazon, then just bring a guide, right? That's why you're watching. Just bring a guide, and he'll direct you to, but he's not only directing you and warning you on what to look out for, he's educating you. He's letting you know what this plant does, what this does. I wouldn't touch that. You can eat these. Be careful of this, be careful of that. And this keeps you safe. It keeps you coming back, and it keeps you, even in other situations, in other forests and trails that you pursue, you're a lot more comfortable as you travel down those trails. As she said, what do I do now? This is a tough situation because you can tell she was educated on men, but I know her mom. I can already tell her mom has her husband, her father, on a tight leash. I mean, got a little choke chain on her, because this woman controls everything, right? She's not only she controls her body as she should, but she controls everything just like her mom does. So I would advise you to get educated, understand men. If you can't see that there is no adjustments that you're doing, you have all these rules, there's no adjustments for a man to be able to at least take off your armor for a second, right? To have a chance to be comfortable in his own skin around you and be a man, right? If you don't see that, you're going to have trouble in the future. Always. You will always, or you'll only attract men, the diabolical men who's like, how long? 3 months? I can do 3 months. Oh, 2 months? I can do that. Oh, you want to wait for months? These dudes love that shit. And the longer it takes, it's even juicier for them. Like, so this can hurt you as well, and I would be careful. I think for the most part, your mom taught you everything you need to know, but you should educate yourself, because your mom doesn't exactly know who her husband is, if you will. And I mean strictly to how his male brain ticks, and you don't either. So I would get educated on that. You can do this. Good luck out there. Together we'll learn the facts to educate ourselves. Welcome to EDC.